Hi, I'm Kesten Rono, and today is day 139 of A Course in Miracles. Thank you for being here. Let's begin with review of Principle 9. Miracles are a kind of exchange. Like all expressions of love, which are always miraculous in the true sense, the exchange reverses the physical laws. They bring more love both to the giver and the receiver. Miracles are a kind of exchange. Well, yesterday we learned that miracles are performed by those who temporarily have more for those who temporarily have less. And we know that on day one, we said that miracles are expressions of love. All expressions of love are maximal. They're natural. Their source matters. Source being love, that they mean life. This is what they are exchanging. Miracles are a kind of exchange from someone who has more, fulfilling a lack that someone else has. Like all expressions of love, okay, so miracles are a form of an expression of love. And this book is suggesting that there are many others. I love many people in my life, and I love things I see outside. Like all expressions of love, which are always miraculous in the true sense. Okay, so any expression of love is miraculous. It's expressing something of the perceptual content of miracles, which we know is wholeness. Okay. Like all expressions of love, which are always miraculous in the true sense, the exchange reverses the physical laws. So what does this mean? Someone who temporarily has more, supplying something to someone who temporarily has less. This is reversing the physical laws, sharing this love, the focus on the source, which is love, its expression being love. Something about this process reverses the physical laws. They bring more love both to the giver and the receiver. Well, we know that to give and to receive are one in truth. Thus, the giver and the receiver are one. Thus, that is, what you offer to somebody, you will also receive it back. That is, what you're offering in the invisible, especially in the name of love. If I offer you forgiveness, and I want you to know the lightness, the levity of innocence, then I too will be unburdened from whatever it is I thought I needed to forgive you for. I will also notice this lightness, levity of peace, of innocence. Therefore, to give and to receive are one. And when I give to you in these ways, I receive. You could think about it as multiplying the amount of love in the name of forgiveness, the amount of peace in the name of forgiveness, and offering both parties the opportunity to see their life differently, fundamentally restoring them to innocence from some way of condemnation, no matter what manifestation that took, whatever form of dis-ease that took, whether it was decreed by a doctor or a psychiatrist or by yourself or some trauma of the past. You may offer forgiveness and therefore receive the peace and love of forgiveness. Miracles are a kind of exchange, like all expressions of love, which are always miraculous in the true sense. The exchange reverses the physical laws. The physical laws say, I have two apples, I give you one apple, now I have one apple. They bring more love to the giver and the receiver. May it just be true that when you're offering something in the name of love, well, in truth, you are receiving it as well. Heaven is the decision I must make. I make it now and will not change my mind because it is the only thing I want. Lesson 139. I will accept atonement for myself. Capital A, atonement. I will accept atonement for myself. What is atonement? Well, if we can remember from previously in the book, there is an interlocking chain of forgiveness, and when completed, is called the atonement. And to atone means to undo. But we can learn more together. Please repeat after me. I will accept atonement for myself. I imagine this is saying, may you welcome forgiveness into your heart, and may you accept undoing the way that you have been seeing the world, so you may see it in truth and in love. Here is the end of choice, for here we come to a decision to accept ourselves as God created us. And what is choice except uncertainty of what we are? There is no doubt that is not rooted here. There is no question but reflects this one. There is no conflict that does not entail the single simple question, what am I? I love this. What am I? What are you? Are you your body? Or are you your consciousness? Yet who could ask this question except one who has refused to recognize himself? Only refusal to accept yourself could make the question seem to be sincere. That is, we are separate from whatever it is that we truly are, and pretend that you don't know what the answer is, but whatever it is that you believe you are right now requires you to ask a question, what am I? If you knew what you truly were, you wouldn't ask this question. You would know it. Only refusal to accept yourself could make the question seem to be sincere. The only thing that can be surely known by any living thing is what it is. From this one point of certainty, it looks on other things as certain as itself. Uncertainty about what you must be is self-deception on a scale so vast, its magnitude can hardly be conceived. Okay, so we are inside of some idea. Can you really picture what a billion is? A billion seconds? A trillion of anything? These numbers are beyond our ability to understand them. Compounding, exponentials. They grow until we are just unable to face them. This is the same idea, I believe. Uncertainty about what you must be is self-deception, so vast its magnitude can hardly be conceived. To be alive and not know yourself is to believe that you are really dead. To be alive and not know yourself is to believe that you are really dead. For what is life except to be yourself? And what but you can be alive instead? Who is the doubter? What is he? What is it he doubts? Whom does he question? Who can answer him? It's you, obviously. He merely states that he is not himself, and therefore, being something else, becomes a questioner of what that something is. Yet he could never be alive at all unless he knew the answer. How could you be here if you weren't you? Why are you telling yourself a story? Why am I telling myself a story that confuses us so greatly that we would wonder who we are, what we're supposed to be doing, what's in our best interest, and what is this love thing? He merely states that he is not himself, and therefore, being something else, becomes a questioner of what that something is. Yet he could never be alive at all unless he knew the answer. If he asks as if he does not know, it merely shows that he does not want to be the thing he is. Let's repeat this. If he asks, what am I? As if he does not know, it merely shows that he does not want to be the thing he is. Are you telling yourself a story that is telling you you do not want to be what you truly are? Do you really want the suffering you're facing? However it takes form, however you manifest it, or however you believe it has manifested, and you're just the victim. Do you really want this for yourself? Or do you want to see yourself differently? He has accepted it because he lives, has judged against it and denied its worth, and has deceived that he does not know the only certainty by which he lives. Thus he becomes uncertain of his life. For what it is has been denied by him. That is, you are denying your own true life. It is for this denial that you need atonement. Again, capital A. Your denial made no change in what you are. You can tell yourself any story you want, but you are still you. And you could say, well, I'm many things. I could have this profession or this relationship, on and on and on. All of these would be somehow skirting around the ultimate truth of whatever it is that you are who is experiencing those things. You become uncertain of your life, for what it is has been denied by you. It is for this denial that you need atonement. Your denial made no change in what you are, but you have split your mind into what knows and does not know the truth. You are yourself. Okay, I love it. Very simple truth. What are you? You are yourself. You're yourself. There is no doubt of this, and yet you doubt it. But you do not ask what part of you can really doubt yourself. It cannot really be a part of you that asks this question. You do not ask what part of you doubts yourself. It cannot really be a part of you that asks this question, for it asks of one who knows the answer. Were it part of you, then certainty would be impossible. Okay, so if a true part of you doubted that you were you, and I was asking this question, then you would always be uncertain, because by definition, what you are would be uncertainty. It would be doubt. But if you are anything at all, and you are that thing for sure, well, then you asking the question who is in doubt of what you are is not part of it. Maybe that makes sense. Atonement remedies the strange idea that it is possible to doubt yourself and be unsure of what you really are. This is the depth of madness. Yet it is the universal question of the world. What does this mean except the world is mad? Why share its madness in the sad belief that what is universal here is true? Why share its madness, the world's madness, in the sad belief that what is universal here is true? Okay. You don't have to accept what everyone's saying. As I said, don't buy the hype. You are yourself. Be open to feeling whatever that is. And if you are out of alignment with whatever you imagine you would like to be feeling, well, then you are out of alignment. Nothing the world believes is true. It is a place whose purpose is to be a home where those who claim they do not know themselves can come to question what it is they are. Nothing the world believes is true. It is a place whose purpose is to be a home where those who claim they do not know themselves can come to question what it is they are. And they will come again until the time atonement is accepted, and they learn it is impossible to doubt yourself and not be aware of what you are. Okay, we will keep repeating this lesson in any infinite variety until finally it clicks and we accept that we are not the stories we have been telling ourselves. And even if we do not know what to call it, we know we are something else indeed. If there is an infinite, timeless version of you that you can access through meditation, then there is an infinite, timeless version of you. And if it is true that you are yourself, well, then there is something about you that is timeless, which is not just your body, as you see it, as I see it or I have seen it. If you are timeless, then you make a decision between accepting yourself and all of its pains and dangers and adventures in the body, or you see yourself as fundamentally invulnerable, changeless, unconditional, in love with God, in which case you radically outlive any idea of you that exists in time. Hold those two together, and which is true across the infinite? Well, of course, the constant one. So what if you could feel that idea as you live your adventures? And what if knowing this idea of your unconditional love and truth outside of time rather than in time, gave you new life in time. I believe that's the miracle. Waking up to what it is you truly are and accepting it as the truth. This is the atonement. This is the undoing of the way we have been seeing. Eventually, we see enough, either enough examples of things we thought were true are not true, or enough of horrors that we want out. In any case, eventually, in living or in physical death, we wake up to a different way of seeing. There will come a time again, and, and there will come again until the time atonement is accepted and they learn it is impossible to doubt yourself and not to be aware of what you are. Only acceptance can be asked of you, for what you are is certain. It is set forever in the holy mind of God and in your own. It is so far beyond all doubt and question that to ask what it must be is all the proof you need to show you believe the contradiction that you do not know, which you cannot fail to know. Okay, let's try this again. Only acceptance can be asked of you, for what you are is certain. All right, let's accept that it's certainly true that you are yourself. This is absolutely true. You are yourself. Can you even refute that idea? It is set forever in the holy mind of God and in your own. All right, so this idea is constant. It is so far beyond all doubt and question that to ask what it must be is all the proof you need to show you that you believe the contradiction that you know not what you cannot fail to know. Okay. Ultimately, this is saying that we somehow believe a contradiction that we know not what we cannot fail to know. A contradiction indeed. This is saying, I believe that I know, I don't know. Okay, I do not know what I cannot fail to know. That is a contradiction indeed. If what I am is certain, then I cannot fail to know it. But somehow, I believe that I cannot know what that is. Okay, if we are asking a question, what am I? And if what we are is certain, at the very foundation, you are yourself, some part of me believes that I can't know that. And maybe you want a deeper answer than you are yourself. But fundamentally, this is saying that if we cannot accept that we are ourselves in the full depth that we could experience it, then we are believing that we believe we can't know that. Yes, we're living a contradiction indeed. Is this a question or a statement which denies itself in statement? Let us not allow our holy minds to occupy themselves with senseless musings such as this. Yeah, even to start talking about this, I understand if it's confusing, especially as I read it, but even to start talking about this enters us into its own answer. Of course, we are ourselves. And if we ask, what am I? Well, even if the answer is, I am myself, and if that's not good enough, then we're already beginning to play with illusions as if we cannot know what our self is. Perhaps we spend more time unwinding ourselves from the kind of person that believes we need to be asking, what am I? And we end up knowing exactly, oh, I am myself. I've been myself this whole time, even beyond time. We have a mission here. We did not come to reinforce the madness that we once believed in. Let us not forget the goal that we accepted. It is more than just our happiness alone we came to gain. What we accept as what we are proclaims what everyone must be along with us. This is fantastic. What we accept as what we are, so whatever it is that you say you are, proclaims what everyone else must be along with us. That is, if it is to be like what I am, and I see you, Well, if I declare that I am anything other than infinite and holy, then I am attempting to declare your condemnation too. That your only escape from whatever this madness is, that you can no longer find meaning no matter how much you look for it, your only escape will be death. Do I want that for you? No. Do I want that for me? No. So I proclaim that my escape is life. And what I am escaping is the belief that my escape needed to be death. And I wish this for you too. Life. Let us not forget the goal that we accepted. It is more than just our happiness alone we came to gain. What we accept as what we are proclaims what everyone must be along with us. Fail not your brothers, or you fail yourself. Look lovingly on them, and they may know that they are part of you, and you of them. This does atonement teach, and demonstrates the oneness of God's Son, unassailed by his belief he knows not what he is. Okay. This does the atonement teach. Forgiving, undoing, it teaches us that our brothers are part of us and we are part of them, that we are all one. It demonstrates the oneness of God's Son. That's you, me, connected as one mind in God. The oneness of God's Son, unassailed by his belief he knows not what he is. We're going to give up this idea that we think we're separate. We're going to give up this idea that we think we cannot understand what it is that we are. We're going to give up this idea that we are doomed with the ego, fearful, fighting God and love, that somehow this cycle of attacks is going to bring us more peace. We know what we are. And if we know what we are ourselves, then we know what everyone else is. And they now have access to the same infinite peace and perfect safety that we can discover for ourselves by aligning with the truth. What is the truth? You are timeless, holy, and you can see life through this holiness. If it is not so, then you are whatever prescription that you believe you need to take, whatever diagnosis you've received, or whatever trauma has befallen you. And there's no way out because you do not see fundamentally that you are none of these things. Look lovingly on them, that they may know that they are part of you and you of them. This does atonement teach, and demonstrates the oneness of God's Son is unassailed by his belief he knows not what he is. Today, accept atonement, not to change reality, but merely to accept the truth about yourself, and go your way rejoicing in the endless love of God. It is but this that we are asked to do. It is but this that we will do today. God's messengers are joyous. Go your way rejoicing in the endless love of God. What is that? What do I call it? How do I describe it? You imagine you can think your way to a feeling or reason your way to acceptance. The truth must be recognized or denied. You may either accept it or deny it. And on this foundation, you learn and make decisions. And this is how you see life and everyone else. It's up to you. 5 minutes in the morning and at night, we will devote to dedicate our minds to our assignment for today. We start with this review of what our mission is. I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. This is so simple. You are yourself. You don't have to believe in a religious God, but if you are aware that you are conscious that it is to be you at all, and that this you are is not something physical that anyone could dissect, then turn that idea over to whoever a conscious God could be. And then you can at least admit to yourself, you are as this idea has created you. You could ask your mother and your father, how did you make me? And they would say, we had sex and we had a child. There'll be nothing in there about how they designed your consciousness. You are as God created you. So please repeat after me. I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. Let's just say it again. I will accept atonement for myself, for I am as God created me. You are as God created you. We have not lost the knowledge that God gave to us when He created us like Him. We can remember it for everyone, for in creation are all minds as one, and in our memory is the recall of how our dear brothers are to us in truth, and how much part of us is in every mind, how faithful they have really been to us, and how our Father's love contains them all. If you are constant, you are greater than any version of you that is in time. Surely you can understand how something that always is something longer than anything that is something in time. So, if whatever it is like to be you is not aging, even though what you see in the mirror is aging, then there is a constant you and there is a bodily you in time. If there is a constant you, even if you believe that you are only you bodily in time, your past experiences and what you hope for, and that will end, people die. Physically, we die. If you see yourself this way, then you are not seeing yourself beyond yourself. If you are this long in time, however many years that is, and there is a purview that you have that is constant, well, then it is not victim to any moment in time, whoever, however, whatever you are between birth and death. It means you existed prior and you exist after, and from the perspective of this constant idea, time is irrelevant. That means that constant you, even though that's the mind occupying this body, we would imagine, constant you has access to something that is there beyond time. You would have the same access to the same mind that all of your brothers have access to, because it simply is. It's always there. If it's always there, it's always available, even if we cannot see it this way. We have not lost the knowledge that God gave to us when He created us like Him. When did that happen? Well, on this scale, it happened way over here at the beginning of time, which is prior to whenever you were created in time. You had parents, grandparents, great grandparents. Yes, this continues to back up time. But whatever it is that you are appears to be timeless if you're willing to look right at it. So that means that whatever it is that you are existed when your parents existed, when your grandparents existed, when your great grandparents existed. But even more so, it existed outside of this realm that is imagined that creates time, because time does not allow for constant things. Can you see how there are different realms of seeing things? We can remember it for everyone, that is, the knowledge that God gave to us when He created us like Him, because we were there. It was before time. And in our memory is the recall of our dear brothers, how our dear brothers are to us in truth, how much a part of us is every mind, how faithful they have really been to us, and how our Father's love contains them all. In thanks for all creation, in the name of its Creator and His oneness. Okay, name capitalized, Creator capitalized, His and oneness capitalized. In thanks for all creation, in the name of its Creator and His oneness with all aspects of creation, we repeat our dedication to our cause today each hour as we lay aside all thoughts that would distract us from our holy aim. Morning, 5 minutes. Night, 5 minutes. Each hour. Repeat it. And if you forget, when you remember, please repeat it. For several minutes, let your mind be cleared of all the foolish cobwebs which the world would weave around the Holy Son of God, and learn the fragile nature of the chains that seem to keep the knowledge of yourself apart from your awareness as you say, I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. Here is the end of choice. For here we come to a decision to accept ourselves as God created us. And what is choice except uncertainty of what we are? There is no doubt that is not rooted here. There is no question but reflects this one. There is no conflict that does not entail this single simple question. What am I? This is the source of conflict and our greatest illumination to realize that we believe that we are something that we are not. We are here to ask a question that if we were ourselves, we would automatically know. The part of us that is asking is the part of us that is associated with our body in time. And the part of us that knows very simply what we are is our timeless version of ourselves. What else is timeless? Unconditional love. This is the wavelength on which we live. This is where we actually are. And if we are not there, then when we ask the question, what am I? Out of curiosity, and we could accept infinite ideas about that, but only one truth. When we ask this question, we are admitting that we do not see ourselves in line with the unconditional love, with the Holy Spirit who simply sees the truth right through time and space. One problem, one solution. If you are asking, what am I? Then you are at the edge of the problem with a great reflection and wonderful opportunity to see yourself differently. Do not try to answer the question. Simply realize that asking the question is a statement that you are not yourself, and you may declare that you are yourself. Because, of course, nothing could be truer or simpler than saying, I am myself. I am Kesten Rono. I am myself, and I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. See you tomorrow for day 140.